Hello, Buddhas! This video is going to be talking a little bit more about why I was bad at school and a little bit less about how to change your life. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind all of you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below if you enjoyed school, and while you're down there, hit that video description box, hit that button that brings you to the playlist with over 100 Buddha Billionaire videos that you can watch and have a spiritual awakening. Now, before we get into the actual content too, we have a sponsor today. Words are hard. And that sponsor is taking a deep breath. Now, all together on the inhale and exhale. Thank you, Buddhas, for participating in today's sponsored segment. We'll be talking about why I started to be terrible at school. And it's not that I was bad at school, it's just that I was really bad at, tests. Memorization. When things in school started to be, you have to memorize this fact, and stopped being, figure out how to do a thing, I kind of shut down. And I didn't really know how to express that as a child, or even as a youth, or even as a young adult, this issue plagued me for my entire school career from, grade school to high school to university and college. It baffled my mind because I could not quantify the difference between knowing where to find an answer and memorizing the answer. Let me explain that in a little bit more detail. When it came to math, I had a really hard time with having to memorize how to do a specific formula or a specific trig identity or a specific multiplication table when I knew how to figure it out. And the reason that this bothered me so much, and I couldn't quite put my thumb on it, and the reason that this caused me so much headache was that I would be given a mathematical concept and say, okay, cool, I get that, that is definitely a thing. And then I'd be on a test and they would hide it in some sort of weird way of writing it out so that you had to memorize all these different things and just know where to apply the memorized concepts. Whereas in real life, because real life is not a test, this is where school completely fucks up. Real life is not just a constant test. It's not about memorizing anything. Real life is about knowing how to actually interact with what you're doing. Now, if you are a referee and you're refereeing a hockey game, you probably want to memorize or at least be so good that you know most of the rules. So it's very narrow, specific scope so that you can make on-the-fly decisions based on how the players around you are interacting. I get that. That makes complete sense. But there's not a heck of a lot of cases where I need to memorize how to spell a complicated word in order to be a successful human being. If I know what the word is, and I know that I can type it out on a computer and it will kind of fix the little mistakes that I made, why do I need to do anything more and waste effort in my brain? And this is where I screwed up at school. Because school is not designed to actually teach you how to learn. School is designed to test you on whether or not you have memorized something that another person has decided you need to memorize. And that's pretty much it. At least that was my experience and why I'm very happy and grateful not to be in school anymore, but to be in the real world where if I'm at work and I need to know how to do something, and yes, of course, there's those situations where you need to have stuff like immediately answered, I get it. But if I'm at work and I need to know how to do something, I'm going to develop a process of knowing how to find the right answer and get that answer and then provide that onto the process that I'm doing. Because additionally, having the proof that you have done the thing properly is a heck of a lot more important than just whipping it out of your head. And this got fundamentally screwed up in my own brain because for the longest time I was told as a kid doing math that I have to prove everything. So if I was given a math equation, I had to prove that I had the answer instead of just writing the answer down, which I could do in my head. And then when math got more complicated, they flipped the damn switch on you and say, well, you have to memorize all of these specific mathematical concepts and then just know when to apply them so that you can solve the equation. Well, those are two contrary comments. And yes, this video is somewhat of a rant, and it may not specifically provide you with a spiritual awakening, but ladies and gentlemen, if we are going to be teaching children how to be helpful and useful adults in the universe and how to be creators, we fundamentally need to change what we think we need to do in school. And I don't know quite yet how to handle that or tackle that. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, because forcing anyone to memorize anything for the sake of memorizing it is completely fundamentally useless. But teaching people how to actually problem solve and how to think creatively is useful. So Buddhas, let me know what you thought of this. It's just a thought in my head that I wanted to get out, and I wanted to share it with you, because I can't be alone. I can't be the only person that had a hard time learning how to spell and couldn't understand why the hell it mattered. And I can't be the only person that had a hard time because they could solve math in their head and then was told later that they had to do it that way, even though they were told before that they couldn't. So let me know down below if this resonated or not. It's just really a ramble, and I wanted to share it with you, Buddhas. So remember, the most important thing is to love yourself.